Hello beautiful souls, welcome to my channel. My name is Sanja and today I'm going to be talking about how if you don't heal yourself, you're going to be toxic to everyone who tries to love you. And I know this is going to be ego firing up for a lot of you, and there are a lot of you who are going to want to defend yourself and, you know, make excuses and play the victim and maybe attack or make fun of, or, you know, whatever ego is trying to do to protect your opinion and what you believe to be true. But anyway, so I'm still gonna go for it. So if your ego fires up, maybe look into why is it firing up? What can you do about it? Maybe heal that part of you. So why are you gonna be toxic to other people? I had this conversation in my head like for hours, and usually what happens, I would have a topic in my head and then I would talk about it maybe even throughout the night before I go to bed, and I would talk about it so much that in the end I wouldn't even make a video because I just got it out of me, even if even just playing it inside of my head, and then I'm done with it and then that's it. And I had this conversation about this topic today for a little bit, so I'll probably forget to say something because I already said it in my head. But anyway, whatever I said, I guess it's gonna be just the right amount and the way it's supposed to be. So, why are you going to be toxic to other people? First of all, when you don't heal, you have certain wounds, you're victimizing yourself, you're blaming others, you're blaming yourself, you're telling yourself I'm the way that I am because of something happened to me, or someone did this to me, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it doesn't matter. So when you are raised by whomever, whether it is your parents who have raised you, you get influenced by, and yes, you do absorb your surroundings and the behavior and how you should act. And when you are little, yes, you are gonna get you're gonna behave based on how the others that are around you behave. However, when you grow up, when you are an adult, it's every single time you make an excuse or tell yourself I'm the way that I am because of them or because of what happened, you're creating more of the same in the now to have the same future, and now you're your own challenge. You can't blame anyone else now that someone who did something to you 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that because of that you're going to live your whole life miserable. Being miserable now as an adult is your choice. You're choosing for others to control your life. You're choosing to be the victim. You're choosing not to take responsibility for your own action and what you do. You're choosing not to get your life better. You're going to blame the government, you're going to blame your parents, you're going to blame the situation, you're going to blame anything. There's so many different people that in the same scenarios made their lives better. When this crisis happened, there are many people who got rich and who opened their own business and who flourished and are doing something that they loved because they lost their jobs. There's so many, but they saw an opportunity as opposed to the victim, look what's happening to us, so look what they did this to me and now I'm supposed to live like this for the rest of your life. It's your choice. Now, how does that reflect to other people that are trying to love you or that love you? I don't like when someone says, someone mentioned, when someone's saying, if you don't heal, you're not worthy of love and no one can love you, that's not true. It's not true. I don't even know who's saying those things. I've never heard that before. I mean, I've heard so many people saying that's not true, which I agree with, but whoever's saying that's true, I've never heard anyone say that. But anyway, it's not that you're not worthy of love. You are worthy of love. And there are people that are maybe trying to love you or already love you. But when you don't heal, your energy, the way that you're vibrating is low, depending on the type of the, wound. And I'm calling it wound because it's not physical, for the most of you, not physical wound that you can see. physically outside, but something inside that it's hurting you. So because you're vibrating lower, whether it's boredom even, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, you're projecting that onto your surroundings. You're making different decisions. You're going to different places. You're clicking on different channels on the TV, different videos on YouTube. You're reading different things if you're reading at all. You're listening to different type of music. But the energy that you're vibrating goes to the people that are around you, whether you do it on purpose or not. I said to one of the mothers that I don't know, a few months ago, and I said, listen, you've got a lot of healing, and if you don't heal, you are gonna hurt someone you love, not on purpose, but you are, and you probably have hurt someone. And she went, no, I don't, I'm the way that I am. You know, when someone just rejects the healing, they want to stay in that victim mode. And when you say, you know, you tried, but if you see they're like, no, I'm the way that I am because of something happened. Okay, so I stopped. Obviously, I don't try to convince people to do something they don't want. My channel is all about what served me, when I learned something, what helped me, what made my life better, how I expanded. And whoever wants to come to this knowledge, they can come here and then explore further. And so again, I stopped. And what happened, I think maybe 2 days later, 5 days later, I can't remember now, they got a bit more drunk and they hurt their own child by verbally hurting them, not physically. And they said all these things. Obviously, I know the child and the mother. This child is now older, like 40 plus years. And, you know, they said how they're embarrassed of them and how they don't want to see them. I don't know, a lot happened. And I'm thinking, that's it. That's exactly it. Now, this mother never said that they were sorry, not even days after, not even months after. They never apologized for their behavior. They thought they were doing the right thing by shouting at her loved one, by humiliating verbally the other one, by saying all these bad things. Now that comes from the unhealed part. And maybe this person didn't want to, and maybe this person would not have done that if they didn't consume a bigger amount of alcohol. But this is what I mean. You can project your old wounds onto someone who's not even responsible for your wounds, who has nothing to do with what you're suffering, but someone can trigger you with a look or with a behavior or with something, all those things that hurt you in the past. And because you don't process them and because you don't heal them and you don't, I like analyzing things. I like processing things because I know once I analyze it, I see what I can learn from it. I honestly learn how to maybe approach the situation in the future, what type of people I should not let in my life, but from the good aspects. Not, I don't like humans anymore. That's also wounds. I prefer animals than humans. Again, different topic. Anyway, so, and then process it. If there is something that at that moment I wasn't letting myself feel, especially if it was 15, 20 years ago, 25 even, I'm trying to get it all out. And I've said this before, screaming, writing, screaming in a pillow so you don't disturb your neighbors, crying it out, anything that needs to come out with purpose, that once that is out, I can move on and it's not gonna stop me and it's not gonna trigger me in the future and it's not gonna hurt my loved ones. If you're someone that is sad, depressed, so you're not gonna give anger to anyone, you're not gonna verbally attack anyone, you're not angry with rage, so you're just, let's say, sad. People that love you, you don't fully feel their love because you're not on that vibrational level. Only when you align with love is when you're gonna feel that full capacity, I don't know how to describe it, love. So you might say, let's say you're a mother that is sad. You can say, my child loves me. But you're not going to feel that love if you're not on that vibrational level. You can say to your child that you love your child, but you're not going to give it fully because you're vibrating with sadness. Now, this doesn't mean you're supposed to beat yourself up. This does not mean you're a bad person. This does not mean any of these things. What it does mean is I'm trying to get you aware of what is happening. Go get professional help if you need it. Go Google all these different therapists. You have Marissa Peer's beautiful therapist channels, so many different methods explaining to you what to do. You have lovely Dr. Joe Dispenza's book where you get with science involved what to do, which steps to take. You have, I don't know, Teal Swan who talks every single thing. You have so many people also to look. Louisa Hay, who had such lovely affirmations that are still out today, although she went to physical to non-physical. So many others that are telling you, that are giving you methods, that are introducing you if you don't have any, if you can't get professional help. I know there are some people that can't afford it, and again, because you can't afford professional help doesn't mean you can't find it for free, and you can't find from people that, like I said, Marissa Peer is an actual therapist that is explaining through videos that you can find for free on YouTube how to do things. When I didn't have money, when I didn't have electricity, when I didn't have money for food, when I didn't have anything, I had a phone. So the oldest, I think, smartphone ever that you can probably put YouTube on, and that's it. Like, you couldn't even get a picture without a memory card. That's how old it was. Not a single picture. I would take my charger and go to the mall and actually inside charge my phone and hook onto their Wi-Fi and watch YouTube videos on how to be better, how to improve. I motivated myself. That's the level. And now there are some people that have electricity, that have internet, that are at home, that again can get these things for free, that can be in the comfort of their own home, can sit in the chair. They don't have to maybe think as much what they're gonna eat. Even if you have loaf of bread, even if you have one meal to eat, you have no idea what's it like to not eat for, I don't know, 20 something days in a month. I remember once I actually would go with days without food, and it would be 5-6 days in a week without food. Anything, like not a single bite. And I still, in those situations, found a way to motivate myself, found a way to feel good, found a way to charge my phone, to go on YouTube, to find people that have their lives together to teach me to try these methods to improve my life. Now, you may think I've never had any struggles or challenges in my life. I'm telling you, even that is nothing compared to other things that I've been through. Like, even that is not the worst, and not even 10th worst thing that has happened to me. So you and your excuses are just that. I know I listened to Brett, I think his name is Brad Lee, I'm hoping that's his name, and I follow him on TikTok, and he said you can even have $1 million or 1 million excuses. Either way, you're a millionaire. It's just which one you choose to have. Do you want to have 1 million excuses or $1 million, euros, pounds, whatever the currency is? That's the same in life with everything. You can have an abundance. You're abundant every single second, whether it's with air, whether it's with misery, whether it's with happiness, you're abundant every single moment. But what do you want to have an abundance of? Do you want to have abundance of excuses? Do you want to have abundance of victimization? Do you want to have abundance of sadness? Or do you want to have abundance of happiness, abundance of hope, abundance of peace, abundance of joy? Which one do you want to have? It's your choice. Again, I know ego is going to fire up. I know it's going to say so many things. So they can stop you from what's familiar. That's all that is. Ego works on familiarity. This is familiar, we're sticking with it. Now let's defend what's familiar with us by all these different tactics. So we can convince ourselves even further. And if we're not happy, how can they be happy? Let's just fire it up with making fun of, saying this is nonsense, or just attacking with any other way. But then ego is not a bad thing. But then if you can, the difference is whether you control your ego or you don't. If the ego is controlling you, but if you're controlling ego, then you can say, ego, calm down. Yes, I know you think like this. Yes, this is you thinking you're trying to protect me. Yes, I know where you're coming from, but I'll put you on the leash, sit down for a minute, and maybe we can try something else. Obviously, for some of you, what you've been doing so far hasn't worked. What you've been doing so far isn't making you happy. What you've been doing so far isn't bringing you peace. Obviously, something needs to be changed if you want it in order to have a better life. Because again, if you're still miserable, if you're still unhappy, if you still don't have peace, if you still blame someone else or even blame yourself, it doesn't matter. Blame is low vibration, you can't do anything from it. If you're still doing all that thing and you don't have a happy life and you think that by doing the same thing, you're going to get different results, not going to happen. So the point is, if you have someone you love, if you don't have anyone and you want to have someone in your life to love you and for you to love back, don't be toxic. You think you're not. I know some of you really don't think you're not toxic to other people, but you are. You're going to one day say, oh, they always leave me, I'm always alone, or always pick partner that is not good for me, or I always am like, I'd rather be alone, I don't like people anymore, look what they're like. It's your unhealed wound that it's doing all these things. Also, I want to say, jealousy does not mean love. There are some of you that are going to say, oh, he's jealous because he loves me, or she's jealous because she loves me. Jealousy is insecurity. You can see so many examples how jealousy ruins things. Because it doesn't come from love. It comes from, I'm insecure, they're going to cheat on me, they're going to think I'm not good enough, they're going to leave me, I'm going to lose them, and that insecurity plays up. Again, unhealed wound, unhealed trauma, unhealed something that now, because of you didn't heal, that part of you comes out and it's now toxic to others. Again, don't blame yourself. I'm not here to tell you you're bad. I'm here to tell you, to try to make you aware how wonderful you are and how better you can be. And all these wounds that you have are there for you to expand and be the best version of yourself. But if you don't look after yourself, if you're not kind to yourself, if you don't heal, if you don't process, some people shove things under the rug and then they just explode in the next moment when they shouldn't even explode. If you don't process that, you're honestly going to hurt yourself and others. And you're worthy of love. You're worthy of having so many people in your life that you love and that they love you. And that you respect each other and that you go through life joyous and that you have peace. I said this in last video. If you are going through hell, don't stop there, move on. Why would you stop in hell? Keep going. Go to the next place where it's better in this physical realm. But don't stop, just move on. Your feelings. You can look the previous video, link it down below. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. This can be all part of your journey that one day can be your story and can say, I went through this, and look at where I'm at now, and look how well it's going. Do something to motivate yourself. Say, listen, I've been through so many things. I want to live a happy life. I don't want to go through this anymore. And one day I can maybe motivate people and say, I've been through so many things. I completely understand where you're coming from. I've been there as well. And I'm telling you, you can move on and have a better life. This is, again, these videos that I'm making. I remember when I watched something about losing weight. I can't remember what it's called now. I think over 600 pounds, something like that. And a woman came in at the therapist and asked her, like, in the first 5 seconds, were you verbally abused? Yes. Physically abused? Yes. Sexually abused? Yes. 5 seconds. Yes, yes, yes. And it didn't hit me then. But then later on, I'm like, I would be the same. I would just go, yes, yes, yes. And I managed to heal. I managed to forgive so many of them, which starts from understanding, not approving what they did, understanding what needed to happen to them in order for them to be like that they're living in hell, that they don't know what to do with themselves. I'm like, this is actually possible. So if it's possible to be yes to all these 3 things and be able to move on, if one person did it, you can do it too. And trust me, there are more than one person who did it. More than one. Look into the stories people you admire. Louisa Hay. Read her story. Where she started, how she had her first few decades of her life. First even 10 are bad, let alone not afterwards. And how her life, what she made out of it later. So you have your excuses, your ego, again, put it on the leash, control it, and go on the path of healing. And when you heal, so many things are gonna fall into place. And plus, you're gonna stop being toxic to other people. I'm really hoping this video helps. It is a bit longer, but I don't care. I'm hoping I just said everything I wanted to say. Love you guys so much. Heal. Find ways. YouTube, Google. So many different wonderful people telling you, books, read. And when you learn how to implement every day in your life, implement what you've learned. Don't just learn about it and they say this doesn't work because I've read about it, I've listened to it, nothing's changing. You have to put in the work, put in the minutes, the hours, but in the beginning, just a few minutes to get started, the 1 minute to get started. You have to work on yourself in the best way possible. Then you won't even call it work anymore. You'll feel so much better that you're just gonna want to do it. And then when you implement what you've learned, then you're gonna start seeing changes. Depending on how deep it is, it might take a day, it might take a week, it might take a month, it might take 6 months, it might take a year, it might take 2 years. But isn't it better to put in the work, to do the implementation of the methods for 2 years, and then the rest of the life to have the happiest, joyous life ever, than not to do it and be miserable for the rest of your life and probably even decades to come? Think about that. Even if you have to do something for 2 years every single day and put in maybe an hour a day even, to change, to be better, to improve, to heal, to forgive, to move on, to just become the best version of yourself. If you have to implement something, get an hour earlier, go to bed an hour later, divide it 10 minutes in a day, divide it 5 minutes, do things. You can do sometimes even things while you're cooking, while you're walking outside, while you're in the car, so many different things. You can do meditation before you go to bed. You can do meditation in the morning, wake up 10-15 minutes earlier. Again, it starts with 1 minute. You don't have to go straight to 15. One will turn into 2, into 3, into 4, into 5. Before you know it, you'll be doing it for 20 minutes, easy. So, choose. Again, all of this is your choice. What you're gonna live, your reality, it's your choice. What you're gonna do about it. Learn how to, and implement it, or just moan, complain, be miserable, attack others, blame yourself. Choice. If nothing of this for my channel works, find something that does. Find something that is serving you. Just don't stop. Keep going. Be persistent. Never give up. I love you so much. Mwah! Sending you all the high vibrations. And I love you so much. Bye, guys.